What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, smart move. Smart move. Very smart move. As undefeated Olympic silver medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified super featherweight world champion, and reigning WBC lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Shakur Stevenson, who is now 24 wins, no losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout. Shakur Stevenson says that he wants to fight British superstar, welterweight, junior middleweight title contender, Conor Benn, at 147. But in the same token, Shakur Stevenson is featured on Cigar Talk, my brother Najee from Cigar Talk. And Shakur Stevenson, he clarifies when a fan came up to ask him some questions and tried to catch Shakur Stevenson by saying, why would you fight Conor Benn, who's 23 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 14 wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, at that high of a weight, but won't fight other specific fighters? And Shakur let it be known that Conor Benn is not a big welterweight, number one. He said Conor Benn is not a big welterweight, number one. Number two, Conor Benn fight with Shakur will have a rehydration clause, right? He said, I'll make sure he have a rehydration clause so he can't cheat me, okay? That's what he said. He said, I'm going to make sure you have a rehydration clause, because the dude asked him, he said, if that's the case, would you fight Chris Eubanks Jr., who Conor Benn has fought and is rumored to possibly fight in September? And he said, well, the thing about Chris Eubanks Jr. fight is that they fought, and most people don't know, they had a rehydration clause. Conor Benn put a rehydration clause on Chris Eubanks Jr., but the fight was still at 160 pounds. And Conor Benn, that's 13-pound jump, right? And so with that said, he says, Shakur said, for me to jump up from 135 all the way up to 160 pounds is ridiculous and not realistic. And at the end of the day, I'm going to put a rehydration clause on Conor Benn, right? And you can see how much bigger Conor Benn had a size disadvantage to Chris Eubanks Jr. But he took that fight because it's a family rivalry. His father, Hall of Famer, British legend, Nigel Benn, and Chris Eubanks Sr., the father of Chris Eubanks Jr., were rivals in the UK. They fought twice. And so their sons carried the torch and they fought each other. But clearly, there was a massive size difference. Hence the reason why His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh right now has made the statement in Riyadh season that they're not interested in the Chris Eubanks-Conor Benn rematch in September. And it's said that Chris Eubanks can't healthily make the weight, and he wants the weight to be moved up, Chris Eubanks, because he can't make the weight, right? Not healthy. And the British Board of Boxing Commission has made a statement that they're going to monitor this very, very closely because it's unsafe, the methods that Chris Eubanks Jr. was using to cut the weight. So with that said, me personally, I would much rather see Shakur Stevenson fight and unify the belt at 135. Raymond Moritala, he addressed that. He said that he thinks that, these fights are easy to be made, but none of these guys are going to take it because too high of a risk. I'd much rather see him fight Lamont Roach Jr. because now Lamont Roach Jr. is looking for a replacement opponent after his failed attempt for the rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis. And again, just leave Gervonta Tank Davis out of the equation. He ain't fighting. It's pointless. It's pointless to mention his name. It's just pointless, bro. It's pointless. You know what I'm saying? With that said, I think that Lamont Roach stock is at an all-time high. 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. Shakur's stock after his dominant second half performance, beautiful performance against Williams Zepeda, had me nervous. You know, I know I'm not supposed to be biased. I'm not supposed to pick a side. But boy, oh boy, y'all know Shakur's one of my favorite fighters, and I wanted him to be victorious. With that said, the style and the game plan he used had me nervous for the Williams Zepeda fight. But nonetheless, in the second half of the fight, he dominated. Right? In the first half, he gave Williams Zepeda too many opportunities, in my opinion. But nonetheless, he dominated in the second half. So with that said, the Lamont Roach fight is the most realistic, because once you transform your body up to 147, those fights go away. And before you go up there and leave those fights behind, right, I want to see Shakur Stevenson unify 135. You know what I mean? And then move up to 147. Because once you start to add that mass on and go up to 147, it's near impossible. He's never going to go back down to 35, maybe 40. He'll go down to 40 maybe, but 35 ain't going to happen. But it's smart for him to put a catch weight on on Conor Benn, right? And he said Conor Benn is not the biggest guy, and he purposely targeted Conor Benn, right? Specifically because, styles make fights, and he's not that much of a big guy, right? So I get it. Remember, I said in a video a couple of days ago, I said Shakur must see something in Conor Benn that he can exploit, right? And he clearly said that. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.